Me wanting to get 10,000 women, $1 billion in raises and promotions by 2025 is a C-type goal. Is it achievable? Absolutely. Do I need God to show up? Yes, it's his business anyway. Are you setting easy, non-exciting, uneventful, raggedy goals and then wonder why you are so dissatisfied with life, so stuck in the muck and the mire where you are? It's because you don't have no juice. You don't have nothing that gets you out of the bed anymore. Will you give yourself permission to be able to make more money so people can be greater? You know who's greater when I'm rich? My massage therapist, the lady who does my facials, the waitresses that I give $100 tips to. Hey, and you claiming to be an imposter after you got everything they said you couldn't get, you deserve to stay on the bottom. A lot of my coaches don't have certifications. They got results. You go work with the person who got a PhD in coaching, but they don't have no receipts. Oh, they got receipts on those student loans they're trying to pay off. That's why they need your money. But they ain't got no receipts in the fruit that they have produced. And he harassed me for this money. And I couldn't afford my rent. I ain't never told this story publicly. And the coaching. I gave up my apartment in 2018 and traveled for a year so I could pay him. I gave up my only domicile. We're not the same.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Welcome to the Pay Raise Playbook, where we assist you with getting to the next level personally and professionally by sharing insight with you so you can have the courage and clarity to stop avoiding the hard things and take the actions that scare you. While you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe to this podcast because I am sure you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, great. Welcome everyone to the Pay Raise Playbook. I'm your host, Christy Rutherford, and we had some technical difficulties for about 15 minutes, but we pop it. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to execute a strategic vision and make the most of your time left this year. Whew, we already in July, pretty much. I mean, we got like a couple more days. July's next week. What have you done this year? And if you're not where you want to be, are you going to wait till January before you say, this is what I'm going to do? Like, are you waiting for Monday before you start? And then did you come into last year saying, I'm going to wait for January, and now we're in June, almost July, and you haven't necessarily accomplished anything? So I want to talk to y'all about 3 things today. Number 1, the art of goal setting. Number 2, are you driven by vision or fear? And number 3, invest in an expert and not shiny objects. Benny Randall, if you leave before that, you missed out on a good one. So, the art of goal setting. So here's the thing about goal setting. If you don't set a goal, how do you know where you're going? And with regards to GPS, is depending on where you are and where you want to go. So you would not get in a car in Miami and say, I don't know where I'm going. Are you going across town? Are you going to New York? I mean, Miami to New York is a long way, but are you going to South Carolina? Are you going to California? The destination and being driven by where you're going is going to set up what you're going to need along the way. If you're going from Miami to New York in January, you're going to need to pack a different set of clothes. If you're going to LA, depending on where you are, because LA can get cold, you're going to need to determine what hotels you're going to sleep in, how much gas you're going to need, what snacks you're going to need. I mean, the playlist, the books, and all these things. But if you're just going across town, you don't need all of those things. So have you started to set goals? And if not, could this be why you're not getting to where you want to be? So I write down my goals every year. I won't go too long to show y'all all my goals, but it's like, these are my 2024 goals, and they are magnificent. So here's the thing. Bob Proctor talks about the art of goal setting, and I'm not sure if he created this or he, got it from somebody else, but let's talk about it. So he talks about creating A-type goals, B-type goals, and C-type goals. A-type goals are typically easy goals. I want to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty easy. I want to lose 5 pounds. Pretty easy. A-type goals are goals that you don't necessarily need anything. You're just setting a goal. I want to do 25 push-ups or whatever the easy things are. Set A-type goals. For me this morning, an A-type goal was get this podcast done. Now it became a little challenging because technology was tripping. But that's pretty easy for me because I already set it up. I know how to do this. I have everything to make it happen, but I needed to get it done when I wrote it down this morning. I'm going to get this podcast done. I need to hire somebody to do a new website and all this other kind of stuff for us. And I need a couple of other things to be done. But my A-type goals are typically easy goals that it doesn't require God to show up to be able to assist to get you there.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Have you joined me on my mentorship community? And if not, what are you waiting for? According to a Bain study, 90% of women who got to the executive level had sponsors and mentors. And if you don't have a mentor, how do you expect to get to the next level? In this community, not only do I have my signature resume course and my course, 7 Keys to Getting the Raise, Bonus, or Promotion That You Desire and Deserve, I show up and answer your questions live. So if you want to get to the next level in your career, if you're ready to stop procrastinating and get things done, join us in this community. It's only $2.99 a month. Go to the link prpmentor.com or use the link on around this video. I can't wait to see you on the inside and answer your questions and get you to your next level of success. Take care.
B-type goals are stretch goals. B goals are, I want to lose 15 pounds. That's a little bit harder than the A-type. 15, that's going to require you to do something. I want to work out 5 days a week. I want to meditate 5 days a week. I want to go swim in the ocean, or I want to take more vacation if you're not accustomed to taking vacation time, or I want to spend more intentional time with my kids. B-type goals are going to require you to take a different action in order to get that goal. So as I look at my goals over here, I always put I want to meet Oprah, T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, Martha Stewart, and I'm going to put Marcus Lemonis on that. And those are C-type goals. We'll get there. Let's see. Top business podcast. That's going to be a C goal. Some subscribers. Okay, more time with the children. I put children there. So I want to spend more time with my niece and nephew. That's like a B-type goal because I want to spend more intentional, present time with my family. And what I've had to learn when I go home, I got a big family. I got to visit everybody. It's like if I'm taking them with me, my niece is 6, my nephew is 18 months. And so trying to go see everybody in my family with them with me, kids, I don't have kids. I'm 40 something. They annoying to me. I like them though. So it's exhausting to be able to take these kids with me to see my family. So I'm not present, and it's easy to drop them off at my mom's house or something, but I want to be more present with the kids. That's going to require me to do something different. So when I went home last time, I stayed longer and I spent days just with them and didn't try to mix the family time of me seeing my aunts and uncles and cousins, all this other kind of stuff. It required me to do something different. So a B-type goal is going to require you to do something different, to take a different action. If I want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day, now that's a B-type goal for me. Christy Rutherford likes her sleep. All this fineness is not created and curated on 6 hours of sleep. I got to go to bed early in order to get up at 5:30 in the morning. That's going to require me to do something different. So I want you to set 3 A-type goals for yourself, 3 B-type goals, and now let's go into the C-type goals. C-type goals are, it was funny, Cedric. It's true. So C-type goals are goals where it's going to be like you're going to need you and the Lord and law of attraction and some magic to show up, but you still believe it's possible. These are the things that make you want to get out of the bed in the morning. I mean, if y'all are just setting A-type goals and not setting any goals at all, what is your passion? What makes you talk loud? What makes you get excited? What are those things that you want to do in order to impact the world or to impact your family or impact somebody? Do something, for heaven's sakes, instead of going to your raggedy job and complaining that they're getting on your nerves when you don't have any goals outside of yourself. Now, what I said this morning was I was not going to be yelling on this live. So let me calm down. I'm going to bring it back down. I said, Christy, don't be yelling on there. I ain't burn no incense though, but I need to burn something. I ain't gonna come over here and start dragging the folk. But look, My C-type goal this year is to give away $2 million. Like, I want to give away $2 million. Now, in order for me to give away $2 million in my tithes and offerings, I got to make a lot of money in order to do that. So, TED Talk, we can close and be like, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I still put it there. So I don't talk about why you set goals. So when things come to show you what you want. I wanted to do more speaking engagements this year. I want to start my chocolate subscription box. That's probably not going to happen. I want to write a cookbook. That's probably going to happen. We will see what happens by the end of the year. A real estate portfolio, doing some land, buying some condos, right? And so building a bigger business and making exponential amounts of money. Maintain my mental and physical health. That takes work. So a C-type goal, me wanting to get 10,000 women, $1 billion in raises and promotions by 2025 is a C-type goal. And I set this goal in 2020. I actually started with 5,000 women. I was like, I want to get 5,000 women promoted by 2025. Now, that ain't that hard. I mean, this is what I do. Do y'all know who y'all talking to? I've been in the game for a long time, over 20 years. This is who I am. Getting women or getting people promoted is what I do. Getting women promoted is what I do. And I was like, well, I ain't really get it. That didn't get me excited. I said 10,000. I said, oh my God, I got nervous. I said, great, let's do that. Because in order to get 10,000, I said, my God, in 5 years, I have no idea. I mean, Lord, that's pretty much what happens. It's a goal. Is it achievable? Absolutely. Do I need God to show up? Yes, it's his business anyway. He is my employer. All right, 10,000. I said, okay, I got nervous, but I wrote it down. I want to help 10,000 women get $1 billion. Actually, 10,000 women get promotions. When I wrote that goal, y'all, in 2020, my clients started popping raises in a pandemic, which is kind of crazy because everybody was talking about how the world was going sideways. And my clients get promoted. After 18 months, now I can quantify it. On average, my clients got a $100,000 raise. Some of them got $20,000. Some of them got $400,000. So I started with I want to get 10,000 women, some raises by 2025. That means that I actually have to work with 10,000 women initially when I did that. Okay? Now, 10,000 women times $100,000 on average is $1 billion. That's how I got that number. This ain't something I just pulled out of a magic hat. This ain't something that AI created for me. This was a real goal. Will we reach it? Yeah, because it's me and God. We got 18 more months to get it done. So when we talk about the art of goal setting, are you setting easy, non-exciting, uneventful, raggedy goals and then wonder why you are so dissatisfied with life, so stuck in, the muck and the mire of where you are? Is because you don't have no juice. You don't have nothing that gets you out of the bed in the morning. You don't have any reason to get excited when you roll out of the bed. You wake up on Monday and dread Monday, and then wake up on Friday and you drive 1,000 miles an hour to get home to sit on the couch, or 1,000 miles an hour to get to the next happy hour to be able to complain about how raggedy a week that you had. How long has it been that? I used to do it, y'all. So how long has it been that way? And when will you choose to have a different reality? I did that in 2001. I hated my job. I hated my life. I hated the people who I work for. I hated the people I work with. I hated everything. I used to wake up on Monday and wish it was Friday. And that whole year went by. I didn't know what happened until September 11th happened and all these people got killed. I was like, hold up, that woke me up. I am wasting the best parts of my life. I was young too. How old was I in 2001? What? 31? I forgot. No, what was I, 26? What? I'm 26, wasting the best parts of my life because I attached my joy to my job, which it was never going to happen. Never, ever, 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 ever. Your job cannot produce joy. Your job will not produce joy. Your job will not produce anything other than to sustain your lifestyle. And I hope y'all at least make it a bougie lifestyle. In order for you to get busy discovering why you're here, what God has called you to do, and get busy doing the work of why you're here. Not the work on your job, but the work of why you're here. And complete side note, your purpose, you came here with it. Your purpose isn't found, your purpose is revealed. You came here with your purpose in you. It's the size of a mustard seed. God planted the seed in you before you arrived. Your family talked you out of it. Your environment that you were born into, didn't nurture it. Your family didn't nurture it, but you came here with it. I mean, it's like, look at these kids now. I guess she's 18 now. The little girl who sold lemonade, 11, got to deal with Whole Foods. Multi-millionaire at 11. And then the kid who reviews toys on YouTube. Like, these kids are killing the game. Their parents nurtured the seed. Corey's Cookies. So we're watching these kids and their parents who are nurturing the child's seed that they were born with and that they came here with, and they are producing. And you over there in a raggedy job, 45, talking about you afraid to do anything outside of your comfort zone when an 11-year-old girl made multiple millions of dollars making lemonade. Hello, what is wrong with you? Let me bring it back. Oh, it's supposed to be yelling. That's good. So it's like, are you willing to do the easy thing, which is at least set a goal? Jim Rohn said, what is easy to do is also easy not to do. Will you even give yourself permission to dream outside of, and it's not just about what you want for your job. I ask women, thousands, when I say thousands, probably at least 10,000 women over the past 5-6 years. If I were your fairy godmother from Wakanda and I wave my vibrating wand, tell me what you want. Give me 3 wishes. Y'all. More money. How much money? I don't know. I want a clean house. Look, I'm the fairy godmother. In Disney, the fairy godmother turned a mouse into a horse. She turned a pumpkin into a carrot. Cinderella was a maid. She became a princess, married a guy, they kissed, they lived happily ever after. We know that don't work, but it's just something to say, right? What do you want? A better job. I be like, look, this is Disney magic. Y'all see, I be yelling in on the events. This is Disney magic. What I like, your wish is my command. I'm like the genie in a bottle. Tell me what you want. Never think of it. Never give themselves permission to dream anymore. Never, ever, 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 ever. Right? Like, none of these things. Don't do anything outside of more money. How much? I want to be comfortable. Why? I'm like, are you going to have a job? Like, you can get a Powerball ticket. I'm the genie. I can give you $1 billion, $8 billion. You only going to ask for enough money to cover your bills? Come on, y'all. Come on. Will you give yourself permission to dream big? Will you give yourself permission? I didn't come into the year saying I wanted to make X number of dollars. I said, I want to give away $2 million. And in order to give away $2 million, by default, I have to make a lot in order to give that away. That's a different type. That was this year. I was like, I'm shocked, but I like that. If I can give away $2 million, though, my God, what impact can I create and be a conduit and a center of distribution for wealth where people are greater because I'm rich?
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I want to tell you about my resume course, How to Use the Superpower Method to Write an Irresistible Resume to Land You a High-Paying Job. If you can't figure out why you can't get to the next level, if you think that there are barriers to your success, that's not it. If you haven't learned how to adequately take credit for the work that you've done, if you don't know how to articulate it, and even give it to a resume writer that you've paid $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to, if you haven't given them the right information, then how can they output something that is of quality and value? So go ahead, get this course. It's less than $50. Get the information, use it, and write an irresistible resume that will get you the salary that you deserve today. So click on the link on around this video or go to thesuperpowermethod.com. Get it, use it, get paid what you deserve today.
Will you give yourself permission to be able to make more money so people can be greater? You know who's greater when I'm rich? My massage therapist, the lady who does my facials, the waitresses that I give $100 tips to, the valets that I tip $20, $40, right? Like they used to getting dollars and I hand them $20, $40. They be like, you need change? I'm like, no, that's yours. I'd be like, what? I tipped the guy, I bought some spinach dip and Cheddar's in Greenville. It was like $10. And I tipped him $100 because he was working during COVID. Young guy. And we can't be complaining that, you know, we're not getting good service and then we treating the people. I'm a complete side note, but I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to get off of it. And then treat the people who show up like crap. They showed up. Young guy, you know, young black guy. Like, I like to hustle. I used to be a waitress. I love it. So I gave him $100. His manager, I'm in the car. The manager chased me out the store and was like, the guy got so nervous because when I leave a tip, I'm gone. Y'all don't see me doing it on Instagram. I ain't taking pictures. I ain't, you know, watching his reaction, listen to him melt down and all this other kind of stuff about how he been praying. I'm gone. Right? So it's like the manager chased me out of the store. I'm sitting in the car and they're like, did you order the spinach dip? I said, I did. He's like, did you mean to give this young man $100 because he was nervous? And I'm like, yeah, if it was $10, then the bill would have been $20 as opposed to $110. Yes, I meant to give it to him. Make sure this guy gets all of his money. So when I listen to people who are capable, you have the ability, you have the aptitude, you have the smart, you got the hustle, you got everything that it takes to not just take care of yourself and your family, but to provide for at least 5, 10, 15 other families. When I hear you say, I don't want to make that much, I get so disappointed because people are greater because you're wealthy. People are greater because you have money. The people who didn't dream a big dream, or, you know, they chose to wash cars, cool, I'm gonna tip them too. You chose to be a valet, cool, I'm gonna tip you too. You want to be a waitress, great, I'm tipping out the yin yang. If this is whatever, we need that, but that don't mean that you have to be that. Will you give yourself permission to become wealthier so you can stop complaining that the rich are getting rich and the poor are getting poor? Why don't you go be the rich side? They keep getting rich, jump on that wagon and stop dragging yourself over there. Okay. Number 2, we get back on my points. I got some points to make. So give yourself permission to set C-type goals. Now, when you set the goals, that's number 1. Where are you going? Even if you don't get there immediately, y'all, you still on the way. Like, because you know where you're going. You're not going to, like, drive from Miami to New York in an hour. It takes a little bit of time. It takes preparation. It takes money. It's going to take you longer to get there. If you're 40-something, you got to keep pulling over to use the bathroom, right? Like, you got to stop in hotel rooms. I mean, if you want to do it in one day, cool, handle your business. So number 2 is, are you driven by vision or are you driven by fear? Are you driven by vision or are you driven by fear? If you don't know where you're going, then it's easy to get stuck and then start complaining. And this whole imposter syndrome thing has gotten like out of hand, like just publicly owning it. What is wrong with y'all? How are you an imposter when you're in the room? What? You fought and you bled and you got the degrees and you did the hard work and you proved your raggedy family wrong and you did all the right things and you checked all the right boxes and you wasn't hanging out smoking weed and drinking liquor at 2 o'clock in the morning while your college classmates was doing it and they dropped out by doing whatever, and you did everything right and you got in the room and now you're an imposter. Get the F you boop boop out of here. What? I mean, just owning it freely. I saw this lady on LinkedIn today. I wasn't supposed to be yelling, but y'all know me. Pastor Syndrome was doing that. I was like, sis, you deserve to lose. Hey, if you claiming to be an imposter after you got everything they said you couldn't get, you deserve to stay on the bottom. Okay. Are you driven by fear? Or are you driven by vision? If you set a good goal, you'll know when things show up to be able to get you there. Right? Like, I set a goal, I wanted to do more speaking engagements. And then I saw this conference where some great speakers were getting together. I was like, oh, well, if I want to do more speaking engagements, now my reticular activating system has been activated. I can now see things that are going to allow me to get to where I want to be. But now I have to be willing to take the action, invest the money, and travel to go to what I say I wanted. Otherwise, I'm lying to myself. I set a goal, I saw the opportunity, and then I took action. I was like, you know what? I want to invest in more real estate this year. This is I've been, it was many years, right? And then they were like, hey, we got this real estate fund, we're doing this, that, or whatever. I was like, cool, I'm in. Because I said I wanted it. Check. If I didn't set a goal to do more speaking, if the event shows up, it ain't necessarily something that I wanted because I'm not even looking. Y'all aren't looking and you can't recognize opportunity when it shows up because y'all haven't even chosen a destination of where you're going. Napoleon Hill says opportunity takes the slide backdoor approach, and that's why most people don't recognize it because opportunity takes the slide backdoor approach, which is why most people don't recognize it. You don't recognize opportunity when it shows up because you haven't set a compass and set a vision for where you want to be. You just out here. You just out here in the sweet by and by talking about you got the imposter syndrome, high functioning anxiety, high functioning depression. The world will give you a reason to lay there and be on the bottom and be a loser for the rest of your life. Period. Being happy is not profitable. Every year, Lexus have their commercial where they want you to think you're missing out on. I mean, y'all know Lexus going to sell every December. At Christmas time, they had a commercial with the big red bow on the Lexus. That's their jam. They're telling you if you buy your spouse this Lexus, you're going to get some tonight. I said it with a straight face. Lexus has told you if you buy... If you buy your spouse this car, you may get some for the next 5 days. If you ain't got none in 6 months, maybe this will incentivize her to give it up. Okay, let me get back on these slides. Like, it's being happy and non-dramatic is not that exciting to the outside world. Telling people that they need something in order to feel complete is profitable. I live a very boring life. That's why I don't have 2 million followers. I'm not arguing with people. I ain't got time. I got work to do. I ain't beefing. I ain't showing my boobs. I just think that, I'm natural. I think I'm a boring person until I start talking. It's going to go sideways. But for the most part, I don't live a dramatic life. It's not that exciting as the chicks with the BBLs and the this and the that. I'm okay with that because I ain't come here for that. But it's like, Do you want to be happy or do you want to be popular? Because a lot of y'all are doing things outside of your character because you haven't charted the destination for where you're going in order to be popular, and now you're miserable.
Hey, Christy, Rutherford here. Have you joined me in my mentorship community yet? And if not, what are you waiting for? If you're not ready for the Vision Finder Masterclass, the mentorship community is going to be valuable to you to get you to the next level. It's only $300 a month. No obligation, no long-term contracts or commitments. You can jump in, figure out whether or not you like us, and then leave if you don't. I think you're going to stay because we're doing some amazing things in this community. It's time for you to dream bigger and get paid what you deserve. You don't have to work harder for it. You don't have to get another degree. You need to take accountability and responsibility for where you are right now and see who you already are. It's not as hard as you're making it. Join us in this community using the link below this video or go to prpcommunity.com. Join us, get this insight, use it, get paid what you desire and deserve. Take care.
So, are you driven by vision or are you driven by fear? We're coming into, for me, 2024. We only got $15 million in salary raises. Now, let's be clear. $15 million in salary raises for women since 2020 is some of the toughest economic times. You know, I didn't even say that. That's in y'all's minds because the times are going to be the times are going to be, but it's unprecedented. But I'm supposed to be at $1 billion. Right? So I'm like, hey, Lord, you said we came into agreement on this $1 billion. What do I need to do? That's why I started the mentorship community that was a different price point than my premium program. So women were like, Chrissy, I ain't got that. Look, I ain't got that. But I got this. I'm like, fine. Now that I'm coming across, because I'm driven by vision and not by fear. I didn't create a product at a different price point because nobody was paying me. I created a product at a different price point because I have a vision to get $1 billion in salary raises by 10,000 women. And if I have to create a product at a different price point to be able to achieve my vision that I've sat on for the past 4 years and I've nurtured it, I'm willing to do that. So, what do you want? How do you want to live? And look, y'all, I was reading this book. 10x is easier than 2x. And I was like, okay, I want a 10x. I got a 10x in order to give away the $2 million. So I want a 10x. Now here's the thing. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Y'all drink some coffee. I listened to that book 3 times. And here's the thing about reading a book. Reading a book is not an action. Y'all got to take the action that you read in the book. You can't just be reading books. Reading a book is like the procrastinator's way. I'm going to read a book. I'd be like, but sis, you ain't doing that with the information, so just stop. But I read the book. I said, I want this. I listened to it 3 times. I said, I need to figure out how to 10x my business. And what the guy said was, in order to 10x your business, you have to do stuff completely different. Like, completely different than the way you're running it. Now, for a person who's been running a business for the past 7 years, in order to like do it completely different, that's not that easy. So things started to fall apart. But I knew that I was getting what I envisioned, but I'm not going to say that it was comfortable because it's starting to fall apart. It's like, what is going on? But I held the vision. I know I cannot lose. Never, ever, ever, ever. Do you know that to be true about yourself? So when the ish hits the fan in the physical, do you know in the spiritual that it's already done? Do you understand that you can't lose based on who you are? Christy Rutherford can make money. Are you and have you created a wealth mindset that no matter what's happening in the world, You'll be okay. And you're already that person. You just haven't recognized it, which is why you're shaking in your boots when people being laid off from your job, is because you have not taken value and taken stock in who you are. It can hit the fan. I can't lose. I can't. It's impossible. So I said, we're going to see what happened. And here's the thing. I thought about it this morning. I was supposed to have a prop, but I forgot because the technical difficulties. But it's like, if you continue to walk it out, will you walk it out until you see to the other side? So I said, we're going to walk it out. We're going to see what happens. So I told my clients we got a couple things changed. They was like, what? I was like, yeah, we changed a couple things. What is it going to be? I don't know. I don't know. But it's going to be great. Oh, what is it going to look like? I'm not sure. But it's going to be great. And it's going to get me to the vision that I have been sitting on and nurturing for the past 4 years, y'all. Look, like, are you so excited about the things that you can see, that you can see it and get excited long before it materializes? And could this be why you're sad and miserable and comparing what you have to other people? Is because you haven't got clear on who you're supposed to be. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Social media that allowed you to compare your lives to their lives. Everybody lied. Dr. Miles Monroe says something like, even if you achieve the goals and you report out to God the things that you've done based on what you thought would be impressive to other people, if you have not completed your vision of why you're here, you're a failure. So this leads me into number 3. Invest in an expert and not shiny objects. How long have I been talking? Okay, I got time. Okay, 37 minutes. I got 10 more minutes. So, y'all, I keep a coach. I'm at my CFO said it's excessive. I'm at $140,000 in coaching already this year alone. I keep a coach, right? I invest in experts, different experts, to show me, because I have a vision. I'm driven by vision. And when I set a goal and you're in alignment with that vision, I'm going to invest for you to assist me again to where I want to be, because I don't have time. I don't have 10 years to figure this out. Life is short and unpredictable. My mentor passed away on Mother's Day. He was 37. We ain't got time. I ain't got time to be playing around. If you're an expert, I've researched you for years. For years, let's be clear, before I invest my money. I ain't decided here to see somebody today and they driving a Lamborghini. I get excited to invest my money and they get mad because I got, because they gave me coach hurt. Please. They wrote their copy on ChatGPT and I got excited and said, oh, they're going to sell me something. Oh, no. Oh, I investigate you for years because I'm investing at a different price point now. I want to see what fruit you've produced. I don't care about what you're saying. I like it though. It sounds good. But I want to see your fruit of what you said is going to happen. So when I see these things and they show up, I'm willing to investigate what I want. So then I started working with a branding company recently. As it's starting to fall apart, I was like, okay, this can't be it. Maybe I got to put it back together again in a way that's going to be less time intensive for me, because Christy Rutherford actually wants to live a life. I couldn't necessarily live the life that I wanted to live and be free and happy and frolic as I'm doing all these things. Y'all, I got a team of 15. It's a lot. Yeah, people think it's just me and a laptop. I don't have it's just me and a laptop lifestyle. I got like 15 people. It's a lot. And so, but it's still a lot of me. So we had to tear down the dinosaur. I already got the pieces and put back together a transformer. I needed somebody to help me do that. 4 days. $27,000 for 8-hour days. $27,000. So y'all will see that later this month.
Hey, Christy, Rutherford here. I hope that you're enjoying this podcast so far. While you're here, go ahead and get my free gift to you, the Pay Gap Calculator. In this 15 to 20 minute video, I'm going to be sharing with you insights so you can see how does your pay measure up to what they're paying in the market. Are you on par? Are you being severely underpaid? Or are you being overpaid so you should be satisfied? If you want to take the mystery out of, does your pay compare to what others are making? Go ahead and get this information by going to thepaygapcalculator.com, or you can text PayGap to 66866. Again, PayGap to 66866. Get this insight, use it, and take the mystery out of what you should be getting paid today. Enjoy the podcast.
I talked to a lot of women. Some women was terrified I talk to women all the time who are terrified to invest and make a bad decision. So then they go buy a new house. My husband, don't even get me started. I'm going to say it anyway. Like, you let your husband talk you out of investing in a coach to buy a bigger house. He just trying to get away from you. I said it. I meant it. He need the east wing. You getting on his nerves. They're terrified that it ain't going to work. Well, reading 1,000 books hasn't worked either. So don't be so reluctant to invest in an expert that you don't live the life that is waiting for you. And I know with the proliferation of coaches out here, a lot of my coaches don't have certifications. They got results. Y'all getting this thing twisted because you go work with the person who got a PhD in coaching, but they don't have no receipts. Oh, that was good. Oh, they got receipts on those student loans they're trying to pay off. That's why they need your money. But they ain't got no receipts in the fruit that they have produced. Some of my best coaches don't have high school diplomas. Some of the wealthiest people I know did not graduate from high school or college. Because super nerdy people are in the way. We want to know everything before we take a move, before we make a move, right? So are you investing in experts or are you investing in people who shiny? I never tell y'all about my income and what I make. Why? I told you I assisted women to making $15 million. Why does it matter if I'm wearing Louis Vuitton and if I was, Chanel birched up and had a Louis Vuitton shirt on with a freaking, what y'all want? What y'all want, the Fendi bag? Like y'all want to just put the bag and just have all the boxes in the background and the Tom Ford and this, that, whatever. Would that make me more credible in your mind? Me driving a Bentley or an Aston Martin DBX, which I ain't gonna lie, it's amazing. Would that make me more credible in your mind? Is that why y'all keep investing y'all money and getting disappointed in the people because they're using your money they're teaching you? How is a business coach who has no business experience going to teach you how to start a business? I've seen it. Y'all have seen it. I've seen these ads. Come be a coach and get a certification from the Holy Divinity School for $30 online. These are the people that y'all listening to. And then you look at the people who got receipts sideways. And then you get depressed and anxious and claim to have the imposter syndrome because you tried it one time, but you chose the easy route. You tried one time and it didn't work, or you're putting your money where it doesn't matter. And I want to tell the story since my coach is on the line. When I listen to people, because we have a premium product, whatever. I'm at $140,000 in coaching this year. And you're like, yeah, Christy, that's easy for you to say because you got money. Well, let's be clear. So my first coach, actually, I think this is my first high-level coach, was $10,000. Y'all, I ain't had that. This is when I was, y'all have to go to other stuff out of my background. But after I lost my mind and left my job and lost my mind and all my money, all this other kind of stuff, now I'm crawling out of a hole. And I started this business and I got this coach. He was like, $10,000. I said, I ain't got that. Now I have been researching him for months. He never asked me for money because he got money. He didn't need my money. Those are the best coaches that you want. They don't need your money, but they're willing to trade their intellectual property at a high value for your money. He ain't need my money to make a living. Now he gonna take my money if I wanted his intellectual property. That is different, y'all. If the law of sacrifice requires you to trade something and give up something of a lower value in exchange for something of a higher value. The problem is you've made money a higher value for you than information to get you where you want to be. I place a very high value on my intellectual property and my time. And if you want that, you're going to have to pay for it. That's what successful people do. You ain't going to run up on a successful person and be like, mentor me. I'd be like, hey, I don't even respond. Delete what? Mentor you for free? You think I got time? Please. Anyway. But anyway, so he was like $10,000. I said, I ain't got that. Now let's talk about faith. I ain't got that. I said, I tell you what, though. I'm going to call you back, okay? I'm going to call you back. He said, where should I send the invoice? I said, send it to God@gmail.com. I ain't got that. Hey, but I know the Lord, my vision was different back in the day. I was just trying to make enough money to pay all my bills. The Lord is on my side. I'm going to call you back, okay? I'm going to call you back. And I prayed, hey, Lord, you know, this is who I've been looking for. You know, I'm supposed to be this global leader and, you know, get back up. So I'm going to need you to pay for this. 2 weeks later, I got the money. I called him back. Now, here's the thing. For the first person, because he knew I was hungry for it. It's Benny Randall that we're talking about. He don't break up the payments no more, but he knew I was hungry. I ain't have it. Not all at the same time. If you can break it up for me, though, I can pay you. So he broke up my payments. Y'all, when I say, my money wasn't touching. My money was on Morris code. It was like, boop. You want to, boop, boop, boop. Okay, yeah, right. Money on Morse code. So I couldn't, my money, it wouldn't touch. It wouldn't be like, boom. It'd be like, boom. And then it'd kind of stretch. And then it'd be like, and he harassed me for this money. And I couldn't afford my rent and the coaching. I ain't never told this story publicly. I gave up. I had this apartment. I gave up my apartment in 2018 and traveled for a year so I could pay him. I gave up my only domicile. Right? I gave up. I sacrificed my living quarters. Now, I got bougie friends. I hadn't seen them in a while. They all got guest bedrooms. They got third cars. I just traveled to go see all my friends. Y'all, my friends love me. I'm a coach, and they wanted to be around me. I just traveled the whole year. I could afford a plane ticket on Southwest or a train ticket, not all at the same time. I can get one way, and then I'll get a coach. God was like breadcrumbing me at the same, So our story, we're not the same. I traveled the whole year in 2018. And my friends loved it. They'd be like, when you coming back? I'd be like, man, y'all just come see me now. Right? And they didn't know, but they wanted to see me. I mean, we got friends. So I gave up my apartment to pay for my coach because I was driven by vision and I was driven by a hunger to be who I am today. That was in 2018. So we're in 2020. That's 6 years later. 6 years ago, I saw who I am today, living on the beach. Being fruitful and prosperous. Investing money in other projects. Doing great things for my family and doing great things for, people that don't know me and strangers that don't know me. I saw this 6 years ago and I was driven by vision. My decisions, my money, my time, and my energy were driven by my goals and by my vision and not by fear. And so before I close, here's the thing. Depression is when you're rehearsing a past that you cannot change. You're always thinking about what could go wrong because of what happened in the past. Today is what creates your tomorrow. The actions that you take today, I can't change what I had for breakfast this morning. It was delicious. But I can't go back and change that. I can't change what somebody said to me. I can't change what my father and my mom and them should have did. They should have let me get a big wheel when I wanted one and a Jerry curl and an easy bake oven. I didn't get those things. I'm still talking to my mom and them about that now. They didn't make my dreams come true. Now they bought me everything else. Depression is rehearsing a past that you cannot change. So if you're depressed, stop rehearsing the past and look forward to a great future because you're still here. Everybody didn't make it out of the bed this morning.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Wanted to see if you have already joined us in my mentorship community. If not, I'm not sure what else to do and what are you waiting for? If you're tired of being stuck and overwhelmed, if you're tired of going in circles, if you can't figure out how to get to the next level despite the gazillion degrees that you have and the 15 to 20 years experience that you're walking around with, the untapped, unmonetized intellectual property, it's time to do something different. So get off the fence. Join us in this community. Allow me to mentor you and hold you accountable to the things that you say that you want in your life. Join us in this community. Use the information. Get your money. It's not that hard. $15 million in salary raises since 2020 in some of the toughest economic times. People are winning. Why not you?
If you walk, talk, got 100% mobility, how dare you be depressed? How dare you be depressed in a 3,000 square foot house driving a European car with an executive position wearing Jimmy Choo's talking about you depressed and got imposter syndrome? I can't take y'all seriously and won't invest $1 to come out of that anyway. Anxiety is fearing a future that has not happened yet. Anxiety is when you're stuck. Anxiety is when all this high function anxiety that y'all talking about, it ain't your job and it ain't your boss. Anxiety is when you want to do something different, but you won't move. Anxiety is when you want to do something that's unheard of and you're stuck because you won't move for fear of failure. But just jump on out here and figure out whether or not it's going to work that way. And if you fail, get up and try it again. If you fall down, get up and try it again. Fail forward. Failure is movement in the right direction. All you did was figure out how it wouldn't work. One of my clients wrote me about something, and I was like, man, just F it up. She was like, did you just say F it up? I said, yeah, because you're afraid to fail and look stupid. Look stupid and see how it didn't work, rather than just sit there for 2 years to do nothing. What are you talking? Mess it up. I said F it up. She was like, yeah, I said that. Stop being afraid to do something. Just do something. I was talking to a client the other day and she was talking about, her boss and this guy and anxiety and all this other kind of stuff. Sis just needs a break. She really just wants to travel and be free. She has enough money. She got assets, y'all, and I hope she watching. Man, sell your second house, take the equity, and take some time off and go live your freaking life. And stop blaming the man at your job. That man is not harassing you. The reason why you're mad is because you feel trapped because you won't take an action that's unpopular. You won't take an action that you're afraid of people going to talk about you if you go do and make a decision for your own life and actually go be happy and do something. You're afraid of how people going to feel about it. Your soul is trying to call you to come home to greater so you can get on the path that God has called you to be. But it's easier for you to blame your boss and blame your raggedy coworkers and your raggedy job that pays you a raggedy check for the reason why you can't move forward and live a great, healthy, and whole life. How did your job become the center of everything that you base your whole life off of? How did your job become your everything and you feel like you are nothing without it? You're already out of alignment. You're out of alignment with who God has called you to be. And sometimes that job got to break. But instead of you allowing the job to break, you break. I did it. So I hope this information has been useful to you. Go ahead. Well, this is being live streamed at the moment, but subscribe and like this podcast as you listen to it, because what I really want, what I really, 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 really want. I want y'all to give yourself permission to be happy and boring. Not boring in the part of you've given up and you content over there drinking a box of wine every night. How dare you? Eating some cheese and some crackers and some crudité, mulling over your raggedy job with your raggedy friends on some freaking bottomless mimosa Sunday. What is wrong with you? And I've talked to actually my coaches that I have that work with my company. Like, we are concerned. I've been coaching since 2001 in my career. I'm not new to this. This is what I do. And I've been in the game for a long time outside of my career now, since 2017, 2018. I have never in my life seen so many powerful people feel powerless. I have never in my entire existence seen so many powerful women feel sorry for themselves. I have never. I can't take it. And y'all get other people to agree with it. And in 2020, I was like, you know what? I talked a lot of trash in 2020 because that's what I do. I've been talking trash for a long time. That's who I am. And I'm like, you know what? Either 2020 didn't awaken you to your reality, because y'all got stuck in the house and y'all can run no more. But it's like 2020 awakened you to your decisions that you was making. And there were a few people who changed. They was like, all right, fine, I'm crazy. I'm gonna address my crazy. I'm gonna do something about it. And I was like, in 2020, I said, we're gonna see the women and the men, but the women in particular is who I talked to, who chose to do something about what they recognized about themselves, and those who stuck their heads in the dirt waiting for better times. In 2024, the proliferation of loser medical conditions that you can attach yourself to, it's insane to me. Either you're claiming high functioning anxiety, which is a lie, because you're fearing a future that hasn't happened yet. High functioning depression, which is basically you're depressed, rehearsing a past that you can't change while still working 80 hours a week, trying to prove that you have value, and they're not paying you what you deserve because you're depressed, you angry, you raggedy, and you sad, and you want them to promote you. Don't nobody want to look at a woman who depressed every day. Nope. Denied. So either you're high functioning anxiety, you're crazy, stressed out, working 80 hours a week, afraid of moving forward, afraid of actually being in a position better than your boss's boss, because you're actually better than your boss's boss. But instead of you actually applying for the position 2 roles up, you claim to have the imposter syndrome. And so you stay where you are because you're raggedy, and then you work harder, and then you get more degrees, and then they treat you like ish, and then they treat you like you don't deserve, and they're disrespectful because you're attached to a job trying to get a secure job. And so then you become indoctrinated, and you normalize disrespect and a toxic work environment, and then you blame them for what's happening to you, as opposed to understanding that you're out of position and you should actually be 2 levels up. You just stay there, and now you feel like you're being electrocuted, and you won't move because you're afraid to apply for a different job, because maybe they'll find out and they'll fire you. So you do nothing, and so now you're medicated and you drink wine and your life sucks and you do nothing about it. What's the other one? Imposter syndrome. How you an imposter? You in the room. When did you become the imposter? When you got the position that you fought for, when you got the position that you deserve, when you got all the degrees, you checked all the right boxes, you did all the right things, you went to the Christmas parties, you said all the right things, you did all the right things, you got into the room, and now you're an imposter? Like, what? Don't even get me started on the whole bipolar thing. It's like you're bipolar is you're of 2 minds. You have your spiritual self that can't take this raggedy physical being part of you that just is just so ridiculously lazy in your language, in your thinking, in your actions, and in your behaviors, and in your disciplines to get on the path to who God has called you to be. So you are telling you to get up. You didn't come here for this. God created you to be greater. God created you to be able to lift your family out of generational situations and generational patterns. God created you in order to uplift the world and to be of greater impact of people in the world. And then you over here feeling sorry for yourself in your Jimmy Choos and your European car and your freaking $5,000 outfit and your PhD and your gazillion degrees, and you're choosing to do nothing. So you over here slapping you to get up. You are divided and of two minds, bipolar.
Hey, Christy, Rutherford here. Go ahead and register for my upcoming event, Salary Increase Secrets. This is insider information that your well-paid colleagues don't want you to know. In this virtual event, I'm going to be sharing some insight with you on how do you get the pay raise that you deserve. It's not as hard as you think it is. We've done over $15 million in salary raises for women since 2020. Women are getting paid during these times. Why not you? So go ahead and click on the link below this video or go to salaryincreasesecrets.com. Register for this event. It's at no cost. Join us. Get this information so you can get paid what you desire and deserve. Take care.
So I don't care what Forbes say. I don't care what McKinsey say. I don't care what Bain say. I don't care what all the studies and Time Magazine talking about they should provide, your job should provide you psychological safety. That's a lie. The McKinsey study, women in the workplace, been saying the same thing for the past 5-6 years. Somebody sent it to them. I'm tired of listening to it. What companies should be doing to provide for you? What you doing? Bain talk about black women are invisible and all this other kind of stuff. And y'all, what you doing though? So if point a finger at everybody, and I mean everybody, has not changed anything in your life, you got to take control of your life. Because when you out of here and you get to God and he say, report out, what have you done? You're going to really find out that pointing a finger at other people is not really a good reason for why you didn't do the things that you were called to do. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to hang up. Some women are just electing to die than to dream a better dream. Some women are almost relieved when they get a terminal cancer diagnosis. I can't believe it. Like they're almost relieved to get a medical diagnosis because now they don't have to do what terrifies them, which is get on the path to actually be greater and be happier. They would rather die in hell than to dream of a better tomorrow. They would rather die in a raggedy job than to know that they are their own job security. They would rather die than understand that the job, you weren't supposed to be there forever. You were supposed to be there for a season, but you made it your life. So I'll talk to y'all next week. I went over time, but we got a couple of things coming out the pike. Everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. It's going to change, but it's going to change for the greater because I got work to do. And I hope that this information has been useful. If you caught us at the end, then you can rewatch the replay. But I really just want y'all to be okay with being afraid. Do it afraid. You scared? Do it anyway. You afraid? Do it anyway. You afraid to fall? Fail fast and figure out a way it didn't work. If you won't die, that's my thing of determining whether or not I should do something. Will I die? If I won't die, I'll do it. I mean, what is money? I'm gonna get it back. I mean, a lot of money too. I have invested in some coaches that sold me a bag of ish. But what else did I learn? I learned what not to do. How about that? When I invested in coaches that took my money, I learned what kind of business I wanted to run when I had my own business. right? When I invested in people that didn't give me what I wanted, I was like, well, what did I learn from this? Well, I don't want to run my business like that. So if you scared, do it afraid. Do it stupid. Look stupid. How about that? Break it. Break it apart. Say it anyway. If people don't like it and they start judging, you'll find that through that action. Action is what negates fear. If you're afraid, do it anyway. Say it anyway. Allow rejection. But once y'all start to understand who you are and stop apologizing for your power, then you won't be afraid. It took me a while to show y'all who I fully am, because I'm a lot. All caps, a lot. And the louder I get, the more people listen. I'm just naturally, I'm not, I am aggressive at times, right? This is just who I am. And me pretending to be Mary Poppins is not going to work for the people that I was called to serve. And it ain't gonna last, because I be lying. So if you're afraid, just do it and figure out how it didn't work. Nobody's really gonna remember your failure, only you, and you just choose how long you're going to tell yourself that story of how you failed. Nobody really cares because they dealing with their own stuff. Nobody's really looking at you. Somebody's on Instagram with a note. Nobody's really paying that much attention to you. Just do it and figure out how it didn't work. And it took me a while to want to come out and talk to y'all, because I just don't, I'm a lot. And I ain't want these people on Instagram because they petty. I love y'all who watch right now. Petty. I just ain't feel like hearing it. And now we here. So, all right, y'all. That's all I got. Catch y'all. Subscribe, like this podcast, and let's get this party popping. Take care.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. What I want you to ponder on this week: what is your greatest takeaway from this episode, and what is one action you're going to take to change your life for the better? Lastly, get your pay gap calculator to see how your pay compares to the market value of what others are getting paid. Text pay gap, all one word, to 66866. Again, pay gap to 66866, or use the link below this video or podcast. Get this insight, use it, and get paid what you desire and deserve. See you in the next episode.